it's Grace, and I have got a follow-along workout for you that is inspired by some videos that I have here called Core Strength, and it's also a class that I teach on Facebook Live. But what is different about this video is that we will not do floor work. However, we are going to get the muscles in the core, which is everything from your collarbones to your mid-thighs, all the way around. Those muscles that move that spine in all those different directions. We're going to work on strengthening them. We're going to get a full body workout. But instead of going to the floor, what we're going to do is use an elevated surface. So I'll use my desk. If you have the back of your couch accessible, your countertop, if you wanted to go a bit lower, maybe a coffee table. And also I'm just going to use a sturdy kitchen chair. So we're elevating our hands for using the desk or a similar surface, and then rather than sitting on the floor, we'll sit on the chair. So we'll do the same exercises, but we'll get the benefit without having to get on the floor, because that's not for everybody. So another thing that I have that's really important is water, and I have some light hand weights. I'm using 2 pounds when I teach core strength with core on the floor. I typically use 5 pounds. If you have 5 pounds, please feel free to use them. So let's get warmed up. If you like music with your exercise, please feel free to turn on your favorite music, and I will be talking you through these exercises. You've got the chair within reach as you do your warm-up, and we're starting with a knee lift. So you can hold the chair, or maybe you're touching those thighs as you lift those knees and really working on some balance, which automatically gets you working those muscles in the core of the body. And then we need to do some warm up for the upper body as well. So we can just come to a walk as we do this. So a little bit of coordination. We're going to reach forward and pull back, and think of pulling back reins. You're drawing those shoulder blades together, squeezing those shoulder blades, warming up the upper back. Let's do that movement one more time, and then we'll step side to side. So we're warming up the inner and outer thighs and those muscles you sit on, your gluteal muscles. Getting those muscles ready to go. We'll do a little more warm up for the upper body. So again, let's walk in place. We're going to do a V arm. We're going to come down to a W arm. We're driving those elbows to the waist. Reach up in that V arm, pull those elbows in. So some warm up for the back, also getting the shoulders warm, pulling those elbows into your waist. Just drive those elbows in, targeting back muscles, getting the back of the body nice and strong and warm. One more time. Let's do some more for lower body. So we're going to do some kicks. We're keeping these movements a bit smaller as we warm up. When we're nice and warm, we'll make the movements bigger. So maybe you're adding a reach, really working on some balance. We're starting to get those sides warm. And then maybe you're adding a kick across. So getting those inner and outer thighs warm as well as those sides, and working on that balance. Let's do a couple more. We'll come back to a walk, and we'll do a little work for the back of the body again. So we've got straight arms, and actually we're going to tap heels and add a press back. Squeeze those back muscles, squeeze the back of those upper arms. And then we can do a knee lift, and what we'll add to this knee lift is a bicep curl. So great coordination and balance while we get things warm and ready to go. And then we'll walk the feet wide, and we're setting up for a hamstring kickback. So give yourself a kick. Warming up the back of those legs. We'll be using all our muscles with this workout. We've got a couple of more, and we are ready to go. We're going to start with a knee to the opposite elbow, and we'll alternate sides. Your chair is right there. So 30 seconds. So knee coming to the opposite elbow, squeezing that middle. You decide how high that knee is coming up, and bringing that elbow down, really squeezing that middle, strengthening those muscles that help with that good posture, that keep you balanced. And when we're moving about our daily lives, we want to be balanced, for sure. Let's get that, sneak in that other stuff. We're going to just bring those weights up like we're pulling pants way up for high rise. Here we go. So we're sliding those knuckles up under the arms. If you're a little lower, that's fine. What we're doing is we're targeting your biceps, the top of your upper or front of your upper arms. Those muscles that help lift your groceries. We want those muscles strong. Feel those arm muscles getting so nice and strong. 30-second interval. It's doable. Next, we're going to do toy soldier. So we'll bring a leg up, straight leg. All right, here we go. So toy soldiers, you know how their arms and legs stay straight as they march. So definitely working on balance here. Feeling those sides getting some attention. Those are the muscles that helped you get out of bed this morning. Very important to get those sides strong to help you to rotate. So rotating, emptying the dishwasher. How about turning to give someone a hug? We're going to work the back of the upper arm this time. It's called a tricep kickback, hands on those hips. And we straighten those elbows, squeeze the back of those upper arms. Here we go. So I'll just show you from the side. We're straightening those elbows, feeling a nice squeeze on the back of those upper arms. Really good for those muscles that help you push a door open or closed. And then we'll switch back to something that is more cardio based. Actually, what we're going to do is it's strength and cardio, so it's balance. It's knee to elbow. A fun name for this is power to the people. You can hold on if you'd like. So we're driving that knee towards that elbow, getting a nice squeeze on the side. Again, those muscles that help either to turn and rotate or to avoid rotating. So if you're trying to stop your body from rotating, then these muscles come in handy too. Nice squeeze. So it's basically a side crunch with a knee lift. So we're making ourselves work a little harder on balance. We're going to use one weight for our next exercise. We'll get the other side, no worries. So you may want to have something to hold on to. We're going to stagger the feet in a lunge. That back heel is up. So we're going to go down and up. Here we go. So anytime those feet are in that staggered stance, you're working on balance. So you automatically make the muscles in the core of the body work. When you have weight on one side of the body, those sides have to work hard to keep you from tipping over. So a lot of strength for that core with this movement, leg strength, and the front of the shoulder. So a lot going on. I promised you we would get that other side. If you don't need a chair, that's fine. or maybe you're just holding onto a wall. Knee to elbow, that side crunch. Here we go. So pulling down with your arm, trying to drive that knee up towards your elbow. If you're a little lower, that's okay. We're trying to give the side a nice squeeze. So you decide how fast. Maybe you're going faster than I am. Maybe you can touch that knee, that elbow. I don't know. Well, it's hard. And it's not the point. The point is a nice squeeze on the side. Trying to strengthen, they're called your oblique muscles. We're going to do that staggered stance again for our lunge, so that back heel will lift, and we're doing that overhead press on the other side. Tighten up that belly like you're taking a punch. So we're going down and reaching up. Inhale down, exhale up. So exhale on the hardest part of the exercise. That takes practice. Just do the best you can. That back heel is off the floor. We're on the ball of the foot. On that back foot, we're getting the side. We're getting the front of the shoulders. We're getting those legs. But a lot of muscles in the core have to work together. I want you to think of shoulders back and down in the back pockets. That back is straight as a board. So we're going to do a regular row. And then we're going to come a little wider. And then goal post, arms upside down, goal post. So from the front, it's a row. 45-degree angle from those sides, and then an upside down goal post, a high row. We're squeezing those shoulder blades together, squeezing those back muscles, high row, getting a lot of muscles in the back of the body, nice and strong. You've got it. So we are going to do an 80-20 deadlift, it's called, and we've got our feet staggered, going to go up on the toes of that back foot, and most of the weight is on that front leg. So I'm going to come at an angle so you can see what I'm doing. So it's a straight leg deadlift, whatever feels comfortable with your hands, including holding on to something. So 80% of your weight is on the leg that's straight. You're squeezing your glutes, your booty at the top of that movement. You want to think apples rather than applesauce. Very similar to a single leg movement. We've just got a little bit of help from this other leg. It's kind of a kickstand for us, and it really helps us to work on balance and even up any imbalances. So you've got the feet staggered, and from an angle, we're lifting that back heel, and a nice straight leg on this leg. That's doing 80% of the work. When you come up, hold on if you need to. When you come up, squeezing your glutes, your booty, if that's what you like to think of, the muscles you sit on, whatever you like to think of. So we're strengthening the back of the thigh with this move, and also calling on the muscles of the lower back as well. So good, very good for you. Let's go back to that 3-point row so we can get the back of the body. The back of the body can get lengthened when we do seated work or just sitting. So we want those muscles strong, and they're part of that core. Here we go. So we're doing that regular row, 45-degree angle, and then that wide row. So regular row. If you need to just stay with a regular row, if that's right for you today, please do. I want your shoulders back and down in the back pockets. From the side, it looks like this. So that back is straight, and we're targeting those back muscles with good form. We're really squeezing back muscles when we come to the top. Let's sneak in one more set. And then we are going to do another 80-20 themed exercise. This time a squat. So let's go through a regular squat with this. So then you know the difference. The weight is in the heels. We're about hip width apart with the toes pointing forward. Let me just move this guy out of the way. That's my Lily there. She's in the cool air. If you saw her there, my sweet dog. So When you sit back, you could reach down as though you're picking up a package or a clothes basket. So weight in the heels, hips sit back, and we're pressing through those heels to come up. So I'll show you from the side. We're moving. So imagine that you're reaching down to pick up a package or a beloved child or grandchild or a pet. So we're sitting back in those heels like we're trying to find our chair, and we're pressing those heels into the floor to come back up. We're keeping the chest as lifted as we can, an angled overhead press. So imagine you're putting your weights on a high shelf. Here we go. So reaching up at an angle, it's a bit more shoulder friendly. It's targeting the front of the shoulders, but anytime you are moving weights around, the core of the body has to work hard to keep you stable so that you can move those weights effectively. So we are still challenging that core. And the core is far more than those abdominal muscles. We tend to think of abdominal muscles. They are part of the core. One more time. Let's do that 80-20 squat. So that same setup, lift that back heel, but now we're doing a squat rather than a deadlift. So instead of the body taking that down, we keep that chest lifted. So here we go. Weight is in that front heel. We're sitting back. So from the side, it looks like this. That other leg is just a kickstand to help us with balance. 80% of the weight is on this leg. We're pressing through that heel to come up. See how my hips are coming back, but I still keep my chest as lifted as possible. Pressing through that heel, coming back up, strengthening those thigh muscles and those muscles you sit on. And of course, we have to get the other side. So let's stagger the feet again, lifting the back heel. Weight in that heel on the front. You could even lift your toes because the focus is on pressing the heel into the floor so we get the muscles we need to get. So sitting back in that imaginary chair. And this is what I like to do with my hands. Whatever's comfortable for you. If thinking about reaching down helps you, or if this works, whatever is most comfortable, if you can get that form. So my front heel is pressing into the floor. I'm keeping my chest as lifted as I can. My hips are coming back. So I'm trying to find a chair. And I'm just pressing to come up and really strengthening leg muscles in the process. So we are going to move to an exercise using this elevated surface, so whatever you're choosing. We're going to do a push-up. So a push-up is a moving plank, so think straight as a board and really tightening up those muscles in your middle. Imagine you're taking a punch to the belly. So what I want you to do is bring the hands wider than shoulder width apart, so we're targeting more of the chest. If we're right under the shoulders, it targets your triceps. We're going to get those again. We already did, and we'll get them again. So you could even do these against the wall. I'll show you against the desk. Feel free to do this against the wall. The farther you step out, the more challenging this will be. So we're wider than shoulder width. We're a moving plank or a board. So we want to make sure that those hips stay in line with the rest of the body. If those hips sag, or if those hips come up toward the ceiling and you're making an upside down V with your body, that means this is too hard and maybe you need to step a little closer to your elevated surface, or even do wall push-ups, which are still good for you. They're still strengthening your middle, strengthening your chest and shoulders. So we're using our elevated surface again. We're going to bring the knee up and lift the leg. So knee across the body and lifting the leg. Knee across the body and lifting to the side. So we're getting a nice crunch on those abdominal muscles. Knee up crunch. And then when we do that leg lift, we're feeling the inner and outer thighs and those glutes, those muscles you sit on. And then of course that standing leg is working hard to support you. So a lot of things getting attention.
let's do the other side. So just have to do the best you can because I don't have a way to switch so you can see me. So we're going across the midline and lifting that leg to the side, across the midline and lifting that straight leg to the side, across the midline and lifting the straight leg. So a knee up crunch and a straight leg lift. Knee up crunch for those abs, straight leg lift, hitting those in outer thighs and those glutes, those muscles you sit on. And then the inner thigh is controlling that return to the floor. So we're just going to hold the top of that tricep dip and either a knee lift or a straight leg lift. So we stay close, we keep our glutes close to that elevated surface. Here we go. So we're just holding those straight arms, and you can either do a knee up crunch or a controlled straight leg lift. So trying to keep your booty close to that elevated surface with control. We're lifting the legs. Again, if a knee up crunch works better for you, you're feeling the backs of those upper arms, those triceps. Yes, you are. It's not your imagination. We gotta keep it even. There we go. I'll just show you from the side. We're driving the elbows, lifting the chest. We're going to be a few inches away from the floor. So it's kind of like a reverse plank, and we're lifting that chest, squeezing those shoulder blades together. So here we go. So I'm just a few inches away from the wall here. My elbows are wider than my sides, and it's all about the back of the body. The closer your feet are to the wall, the less intense, so you move your feet as you need to. Here we go. So those elbows are driving into the wall, driving the hips and chest forward, squeezing that upper back, and then we can tap the wall, and again, drive elbows, chest and hips drive forward, squeeze those shoulder blades together, tap the wall, drive those elbows into that wall, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and let's try one more time. Press those elbows into the wall, squeeze those shoulder blades together, very nice. We're going to come into a plank here. So something I want you to be mindful of in a plank, when people are doing something that's too hard for them with a plank, what they tend to do is either they bring their hips out or they let their hips sink down. So you need to give yourself a chance to strengthen those core muscles. If your body isn't ready for that move, I'd like you to do this from a higher surface, perhaps the wall. So I'll show you from here. It's called a mountain climber, so we're in that plank. You can step a little closer if you need to, and we're going to lift knees, alternating a knee lift. So we lift and squeeze, lift and squeeze. So we're really targeting abdominal muscles, but the lower back is helping to stabilize us in this plank form. The shoulders are working hard to support us. So we're getting some nice attention for the shoulders. Feeling those abs, that belly. Let's get that one repetition. Side plank. So you could do this from a high plank position with your hand, or you could come down. Maybe this would feel better to you on the wall. That's pretty challenging, so you could certainly do this on the wall and do that side plank. I'll start here and I'll go to the wall. Okay, so here we go. We've got that elbow under the shoulder. We're on the tightrope with those feet, and we're feeling this side, this bottom side. It's a lot of challenge for the shoulder. You could flatten your hand if you'd like, and then I'm going to go to the wall if you're there with me. So the same idea, we're on the tightrope. We've got that elbow right in line with the shoulder, and we're challenging the side, getting closer to a floor challenge. So this may just be crazy. All right, so here we go. So this would be an option, certainly, to be in that side plank. So you can see that my elbow is below my shoulder. I've got a nice straight line from my head to my feet. So I'm going to go to the wall if you are there with me. Still, we're on that tight rope with the feet. Maybe you can step out a little bit. You want to make sure that elbow is in line with the shoulder. You're feeling the side closest to the floor, the wall. And I'm going to just take a moment to take a sip of water. That's a good idea for you to do the same. So it's a particularly hot day today as I'm recording this, and I have an air conditioner in this room, so that's why my sweet Lily is here right under the air conditioner. Isn't she a smart? We are going to come at a little bit of an angle. So this is our floor, and we're going to sit up nice and tall, and what we're going to do is bring the knee up and ride a bicycle. So here we go. We're sitting back a little bit and we're riding that bicycle. So it's absolutely okay to hold on to that chair seat. So it's similar to being on the floor. You're strengthening your muscles in your middle. Your leg is getting some attention. I'm sure you can feel that. And it's good stuff. You might even be sweating a little if it's warm where you are as you're doing this, even with the air conditioner. Here we go. So we're sitting back just a little bit, angle a bit more so you can see that. So I'm sitting back just a little bit like I'm at the top of a sit-up, and I'm riding that bike. Squeezing those muscles in the middle, your abdominal muscles. Imagine that you're taking a punch to those abdominal muscles. Very effective, isn't it? So we're going to do a seated hip hinge. I think I need more of an angle to see what I'm doing. So it's the top half of a sit-up. Here we go. So we're leaning back and coming up. So that belly is nice and tight to support our back as we lean back and really challenge those abdominal muscles. I'm not touching the chair back. I'm just going back far enough to work those abdominal muscles. And boy, is it effective. From here, let's do an exercise called a Russian twist, and it works your sides. You can be seated upright or you can lean back a little, so I'll show you both. So we're going to twist side to side and really squeeze the side. If leaning back works for you, it's just a little bit of a lean back. So you're just making those abdominal muscles help out a bit and making a little more work for those sides, those obliques. Those are muscles that really need attention. I hope you enjoyed your workout today. Good for you for working out with me. I hope you feel stronger in the middle of your body and that your whole body feels stronger. I do teach this class live on Mondays and Wednesdays Eastern Time at 9 a.m. from my Facebook business page, Grace Norcott Health. I'll leave a link if you'd like to join me. We do standing work and we do go down to the floor, but you know how to modify if that's what you need now that you've done this workout with me. Please give this video a like if you did like it, and I would appreciate it if you subscribed and hit that notification bell. Again, thanks for working out with me. I will add a link also for a cool down stretching video that you can do from the chair. So give yourself a chance to cool down and stretch out before you head on with the rest of your day. Again, thank you for joining me.